just about every video, travel article, and blog says that the North Coast 500 is a must-do in Scotland. I thought I was filming just another scenic drive. What started as the worst travel day of my life somehow turned into one of the best and made me rethink why we travel in the first place. Along the way, I'll flag the dangers, rate every major stop, the good, the bad, and the overhyped, and as a hotel expert, I'll show you the best places to stay and the hotels to avoid. So, is the North Coast 500 worth it? Maybe, just not for the reasons you'd expect. Hey there, I'm Don, known for discovering pretty incredible hotels, but I also make travel guides to take the stress out of planning and help you get it right the first time. That's Inverness behind me, and you can do the North Coast 500 clockwise or counterclockwise. Most of the advice I got is to do it counterclockwise, so that's what I'm doing, and this is where we're starting. Inverness is known as the gateway to the Highlands, and it's a good place to begin and/or end your trip. As a hotel expert, my advice is, if you're coming from London, to take the Caledonian Sleeper to Inverness, spend a night or two near Inverness at Newhall Mains, and end at the Both House, also just outside Inverness. That makes for a great loop. Our first stop is at Dunrobin Castle, about an hour north of Inverness. What jumps out right away is that this doesn't feel very Scottish, with the architect who redid this place in the 1800s going full French chateau mode. Inside, portraits, velvet, and lots of bling. The formal gardens rolling down to the sea are my favorite part. Well maintained and worth a stroll. I'd give this a solid 7 out of 10, but the real Scottish castles are still to come. I built this North Coast 500 itinerary from the top travel magazines, blogs, and travel books, then drove it all myself. The hotels, though, that's all me. Places I've personally tested and can actually vouch for. And since I did the full loop, every rating you'll see is relative. The best, the worst, and everything in between. If you're into geology, this next stop is probably for you. I'm at the Wyligo Steps, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's only a couple minutes off the main road and maybe a 5 to 10 minute walk down here, but I think it's well worth it. It's super beautiful. Actually, I'm gonna walk that back. Once you get to the bottom, there's not much to see, so this is more a 5 out of 10. Cool rock formations for sure, but I want more. My next stop's supposed to be epic, so I'm being conservative with my rankings for now. Half the travel blogs and guides I read said that Old Keys Castle is a must-do, but they forgot to tell you one thing. I was hoping I could get up to it, but it's all blocked by a private road, so the only thing I can figure out at this point is to get my drone out. Hopefully, and I'm kind of not supposed to be here. So I made it to Duncansby Head. This is as far north as you can go on the British mainland, and I have to say, I was slightly disappointed with the day, but this has changed everything. I mean, it is beautiful up here. I'm surrounded on 3 sides by water, by amazing landscape, and just look at what's behind me. I mean, this is one of the prettiest spots I've ever been. It is definitely worth a trip up here. So that concludes day one, which is going to be the shortest day on this trip. So my next stop is John O'Groats. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. John O'Groats Village, I think is the way you say it, for my first hotel on this trip. This town is tiny and there's no real grocery store here and just a few restaurants. And many are closed in shoulder season, so I suggest you get groceries before you arrive. I spend 90% of my time on this channel searching for the world's most interesting boutique hotels, and I'm confident that I have a great one to show you tomorrow. But tonight, it's the inn at John O'Groats that I like but don't love enough to make a full video about. But for sure, your best option in this area. Check it out. I mean, a beautiful view on both sides, a nice kitchen, nice seating area, and a table. Yeah, super pleasantly surprised. Very tastefully done. Yeah, you get a lot here for your money. The same company operates these cabins next door. If I were coming here with a group, I'd opt for these. I couldn't get in to see one, but they look pretty good from the outside. So day two, the weather is holding out. It's a little bit windy, but it's not raining. I mean, for early October, the weather's pretty good. The Dunnet Head Lighthouse was built in 1831 by Robert Stevenson, the grandfather of UK lighthouses. There's not much to see here, but it is close to the main road, so it's easy to get to, and some people hike from this car park. This stop's a 3 in my book. I'm desperate for a coffee, and it's a good thing that only 25 minutes away is Thurso, the biggest town I've seen since I left Inverness. It has its charms and a decent amount of cafes and restaurants to choose from before you get back on the road. Between all the blogs and travel magazines I read and researched preparing for this drive, I counted 19 beaches that are quote-unquote spectacular. I don't have that kind of time, and you probably don't either, so I'm skipping the disappointments and showing you this slightly hidden spot 45 minutes from Thurso called Melvish Beach. The walk through the tall grass and dunes almost feels like Australia, if Australia had colder water and less sunshine. About halfway through my drive on day two, the roads really changed from like what I've seen in most of the UK, 2-lane roads, but this is kind of a lot of single track roads. Once you hit these single track roads, the rules of driving change. You'll see small pull-offs called passing places every few hundred feet. If you're closest to one, that's your cue to pull in and let the other car pass. Give a quick wave when someone does the same for you. That's the nice thing to do. I've been told that in the summer, these roads can get jammed with camper vans going 10 miles an hour. So driving during the high season, pack some patience. So yeah, the driving's getting a little, harder, I guess. Thank you. Look, they're using the passing place. Such polite sheep. Strathy Point is the last lighthouse I'm going to subject you to on this drive, but bear with me. You can hike to the lighthouse from this point, but I still have a lot to cover today, and I still need to check into my next hotel, so I'm going to cheat and use my drone. So I checked in real quick at my hotel. I was like, I'm gonna do one more thing today. And I drive around the corner and then I see this. You might get sick of me saying this, but it is so beautiful. I hate the word stunning, but it's kind of stunning. I just came over the hill and I'm like, oh my God. It's wild. Just when you thought this drive was only about beautiful coastal scenery, all of a sudden there's locks, and it's a beautiful one. This is a sea lock, but it sure doesn't feel coastal. Loch Arable may look peaceful now, but it has some serious history. This was a major anchorage for the Royal Navy and even saw the surrender of some German U-boats during World War II. It's also one of Scotland's deepest sea locks. It's been a long day, and yes, I'm backtracking a bit, but this stop is worth it. Lundies House isn't just another hotel, it's the kind of place that reminds you why you travel. Thoughtful design, wildly good food, and a fire pit that helps you reset. It's not cheap, but if you can afford it, this is the perfect halfway splurge on the North Coast 500. I've got a full video about my stay, but for now, I'm calling it a night. So it's day 3, and yeah, it's raining a bit, and I guess I'm a little disappointed, but I don't think you can do this drive and not expect rain. I think even in July or August, good chance you'll have a day or two of rain. So, you know, it's different. It's still beautiful. It's just beautiful in a different way. So, yeah, in a way, I'm just kind of embracing it and enjoying it. I don't know, does this seem like a random place for a phone booth? Smoo Cave is one of the largest sea caves in the UK, and rumor has it that smugglers used to hang out here. The cave was formed by both seawater and freshwater running through it. I think this is totally worth doing. It's super cool inside. You can walk down in 5 minutes and probably tour the cave in 5 or 10 minutes. So it's not a big diversion, and yeah, I think it's a pretty unique spot. Plus it's free, so why not? I know I said no more beaches, so I'm not getting out of the car, but I am amused by this sign. Who's giving out these awards? And I know this is random, but one of my biggest regrets on this trip, because I'm too often in a hurry, is that I didn't get a toasted cheese here. I have a feeling this is what deserves the award. I want to stop for a second because I think one of the things I'm starting to appreciate on this drive is how the landscape changes so quickly, and you know, you just kind of come over a crest of a hill and it's like, what? It's just amazingly different and so beautiful. I am literally at a crossroads right now. Just past the most famous bridge on this drive. You've got two options at this point. There's a less scenic direct route to Ullapool, or you can take the road less traveled. It's supposed to be a one-track road that's kind of hard to navigate, but the views are supposed to be amazing. I think I'm gonna pick door number 2. This applies to many parts of the North Coast 500, but I think I had the most sheep encounters on this detour. Sometimes you just need a bit of patience. Another one. What's this one doing? He's looking out.
What's going on? What's going on?
This section also wins the award for the weirdest things on the North Coast 500. Our last stop before we hit Ullapool for the night is this 16th century castle that sits on a tiny peninsula with a narrow path, so you can walk right up to it. Once a MacLeod stronghold, it's mostly ruins now, but the setting is pretty wild. There are also hiking trails in this area. Next, we're stopping for the night in Ullapool, a town oozing with charm where I booked this place that looked great on the web, but not so much in person. But here's where I really wanted to stay, the Dipping Lugger. I had a wonderful dinner here, and there's a tiny hotel that's attached to the restaurant that I've heard is great, but that was all booked up. You know, I started this channel because too often I was disappointed when I showed up at my hotel. But I've come to realize that a great vacation isn't just about where you stay, it's also about that perfect dinner, maybe a great art gallery, or an incredible hike other tourists don't know about. So if you're tired of guessing when you travel, check out my website where I can save you money and I think help you plan the perfect trip. Okay, it's day 4. I'm gonna grab a quick coffee on my way out of town and get going. There's a lot to cover. The Corrie Gorge, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, is only about 15 minutes outside of Ullapool. There's free admission, a really nice place to park with a cafe, and walking trails that lead to a suspension bridge that's supposed to be pretty beautiful. What is wild about this bridge is when you're walking up to it, it doesn't really feel like very much. It's like, okay, yeah, small suspension bridge. And then you walk out into the middle, man, it is really a drop down there. It is really, and it's beautiful on both sides. It's 100% worth doing this. I was skeptical about our next stop, Inverwee Gardens. The guidebooks use words like stunning to describe it, always a red flag, but I'm surprised to say I really like it. Created in the 1860s on a peninsula with its own microclimate, it's a subtropical surprise. Palm trees, tropical flowers, and roadies thriving just a few miles from the Arctic Circle. It's peaceful, beautifully maintained, and worth an hour or two if you need a break from the road. Assuming you like this kind of stuff. One travel guide and magazine article describe our next stop as breathtaking and, you guessed it, stunning. The authors, obviously, are blind. This is Victoria Falls. It's not that impressive. I would not go out of my way to do this one. Victoria Falls may be a waste of time, but Loch Murray is really, really pretty. I mean, I have seen a lot of lochs in Scotland, and this is one of the prettiest. That mountain is beautiful, the loch's beautiful, all the trees, lots of beautiful stuff. After last night's hotel disappointment, I am ready for some luxury and think I've earned it. The Torridon is part hunting lodge, part film set, and the second fanciest stop on this drive. It feels more quintessentially Highland than anywhere else I've stayed, and it has the prettiest setting in Scotland, second only to Monacle Moor Hotel. The Torridon's definitely a splurge, but my full review will help you decide if it's worth it. It's day 5 and I'm 450 miles down with 50 to go, roughly. And we're gonna end this trip driving over the highest road in the UK. I'm on my way over to Applecross, and I could see like on how a clearer day this would be spectacular, but it's really hard to say because it's like so much of this is in the clouds or it's misty. It's beautiful, but I think if it was a bit clearer it would be prettier. So it's gonna be hard for me to judge this one. So I'm on this one-track road, and there was just like this big rock, and couldn't avoid it, so. Now I gotta change the flat tire. I hope there's a spare. Luggage out. There was no spare. Why? Why? Hi. Hi. So I've been waiting 3 hours already. First they told me 1 or 2 hours, then they said, oh, somebody will be there in an hour, and then the guy from the tow truck just called me and said he needs another hour and a half. Yeah, it sucks to be stuck, but I am stuck in a really pretty place, so could be worse. I took a walk because they said it was going to be like another hour and a half. So wait, that was a tow truck that just went by, but it didn't stop. Please tell me he's turning around. This is my guy. Oh, thank God. Finally. Yeah, I saw you go by like a half hour ago, and I was like, why isn't he stopping?
You don't have a spare, do you?
Nope, not my guy. You went to get that guy. And here comes the cavalry. Someone is ready to take a ride. And we're off. And as we head towards the UK's highest road, it's turned out to be a pretty spectacular day. The UK's highest road climbs over 2,000 feet in just a few miles, twisting through the mountains on a route that was once used to herd cattle to market. How do I know that? My super friendly driver doesn't just rescue people, he also knows everything about this area. As we reach the top, despite the flat tire, the 5+ hours of waiting, I'm actually starting to think that I was lucky. Had I kept going this morning, I would have missed all this. On our way down, I realize I'm right about the lucky part. I've been in Scotland for almost a month and have never seen a stag like this.
That's a nice stag.
So that's the end of the North Coast 500 for me. I've got a few more miles to go to Inverness, but it's not coastal and it's across the middle of Scotland and it's getting dark, so I'll spare you that. You know, today started out not so great, but you know, thinking back on it, I got stuck in a beautiful place and got rescued by a really nice guy who had a great dog, who drove me over the top of a beautiful mountain, and I got to ride along and enjoy it. So all in all, not a bad way to end the trip. Please help others discover my channel by liking and sharing this video, and of course, subscribing. In the description, I have links to my free 7, 10, and 14-day Scotland itineraries, plus my free North Coast 500 itinerary. I'm ending this North Coast 500 trip where I started, in Inverness, at one of Scotland's most unique boutique hotels called Both House. Check out my experience here. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.